Good morning students, here we come up with pectoral region part 2. So therefore in the pectoral region part 2 we are going to discuss two muscles and one fascia. Pectoralis minor, subclavius muscle and the fascia, clavipectoral fascia. So first we are going to draw this one of the line diagrams which we had drawn yesterday. This is the clavicle. Here we are going to show coracoid process. This is the clavicle, coracoid process. And over here at this side, I hope this is coming. Okay, yeah. Here we are going to show manubrium sternum and this manubrium sternum we are going to draw till the end, and below we are going to show the xiphisternum. So therefore the body of the sternum, this is the xiphisternum, this is the manubrium sternum, and this is the line of demarcation. So now we are going to show the cartilage. This will be the first costal cartilage and this will be the first rib. So first costal cartilage and this will be first rib. So costochondral junction, first costochondral junction. Then we are going to show here the second costal cartilage and second rib. And note down that this is the line of junction between manubrium and body of sternum. So therefore, at the line of junction is the attachment of second costal cartilage between manubrium and body of sternum. So this is the second costal cartilage. So this entire region will be manubrium, this entire region will be body, and this will be xiphisternum. Then we are going to show three more costal cartilages and its ribs. So therefore this will be the third one, third rib, third costal cartilage, third rib, then the fourth costal cartilage and fourth rib, then the fifth costal cartilage and the fifth rib. This much we need to draw as line diagram, and then we are going to show pectoralis minor. The origin of pectoralis minor will be from third, fourth and fifth ribs. Remember, it will not take origin from its costal cartilage but from the ribs. From third, fourth and fifth ribs will be the origin of pectoralis minor. So therefore, the pectoralis minor will take origin from third, fourth and fifth rib. So therefore, origin of pectoralis minor, once again I will explain, from the third rib, from the fourth rib and from the fifth rib. This is the entire pectoralis minor. And after taking origin, this pectoralis minor, it will be inserted on medial border and upper surface of coracoid process of scapula. Once again, the pectoralis minor will be inserted on the medial border and upper surface of coracoid process of the scapula. So this is the coracoid process and it will be inserted on the medial border and upper surface of coracoid process of scapula. This is the insertion of pectoralis minor. Now we come to nerve supply. The nerve supply of pectoralis minor will be through medial pectoral nerve and lateral pectoral nerve. So therefore, the first nerve which we are going to draw, which is piercing pectoralis minor. Which nerve will pierce pectoralis minor? The nerve which pierces the pectoralis minor will be, here I have drawn this medial pectoral nerve. This medial pectoral nerve will pierce pectoralis minor and it is going to supply pectoralis minor itself. Then another nerve is lateral pectoral nerve, which will also supply pectoralis minor, but it is going to pierce clavipectoral fascia. So in this region we are going to draw clavipectoral fascia, and through clavipectoral fascia what we are going to show will be the nerve which will pierce clavipectoral fascia, and the nerve which will pierce clavipectoral fascia, lateral pectoral nerve. So therefore Here we will complete the diagram. This will be the medial pectoral nerve, and over here this nerve will be the lateral pectoral nerve. These are the 2 points which are asked in MCQs. Medial pectoral nerve will pierce pectoralis minor and lateral pectoral nerve will pierce clavipectoral fascia. Both the nerves will supply pectoralis minor muscle. So, origin of pectoralis minor, insertion of pectoralis minor, nerve supply of pectoralis minor, now the actions of pectoralis minor. Pectoralis minor will have 2 important actions. The first action will be protraction of the scapula. So, along with serratus anterior, it will help in protraction of the scapula, first action. Second action will be along with levator scapulian rhomboids, it will help in depression of the shoulder. Along with levator scapulian rhomboids, it will help in depression of the shoulder. This is the second action. So these are the 2 actions of pectoralis minor. Now we come to the second muscle as of today. Pectoralis minor we have discussed first. Now second muscle is subclavius. Now subclavius muscle will take origin from first rib. First rib and its first costal cartilage. So here this is the difference between pectoralis minor and subclavius. Pectoralis minor will not take origin from its costal cartilage but only from 3, 4, 5 ribs. And in addition to that, one more point we had to include, this pectoralis minor will also take origin from external intercostal muscle, which is the muscle of respiration. So pectoralis minor is also going to take origin from some of the fibers of external intercostal muscle. That one point you need to add. Now coming back to subclavius. Subclavius from the first rib and its first costal cartilage. So from here it is going to take origin from first rib and its first costal cartilage, and it is going to be inserted on the middle of under surface of clavicle or middle of inferior surface of clavicle. Now in the middle 1/3 of inferior surface of clavicle, we know that there will be a subclavian groove. So within that subclavian groove, which is present on inferior surface of clavicle in middle 1/3, the subclavius muscle is inserted. That is the insertion of subclavius muscle, taking origin from first rib and its first costal cartilage and inserted into the subclavian groove, which is present on inferior surface of middle 1/3 of the clavicle in the subclavian fossa. Now nerve supply. The nerve supply of subclavius muscle will be from nerve to subclavius, which is a branch of upper trunk of brachial plexus with root value of C5 and C6. That is nerve to subclavius. And action, the actions of this subclavius muscle, which is a very small muscle, the action of this subclavius muscle will be, it will stabilize or it will steady the clavicle during movements of shoulder joint. That is the only action of subclavius muscle. It will help in making the clavicle steady during various movements of shoulder joint. So we have finished the origin, insertion, nerve supply and action of subclavius muscle. So both the muscles are important part of pectoralis, the pectoral region. Remember one thing, during dissection when you try and cut the origins of the pectoralis major and reflect the pectoralis major, immediately beneath the pectoralis major you will find these 2 muscles, pectoralis minor and subclavius. Now we come to the third important topic as of today. First was pectoralis minor, second was subclavius muscle. Now the third important topic is clavipectoral fascia. Clavipectoral fascia. Many one-liner question answers are also asked or many MCQs also. Now, very simple, try and understand. The clavipectoral fascia will be present where my hand is there. So the fascia will be attached in 4 different directions. For example, this fascia, laterally, it will be attached to coracoid process. So from here, this is the lateral attachment of clavipectoral fascia. Now the color which I am doing, green color which I am putting, this is clavipectoral fascia. Laterally it is attached to coracoid process. And here I will show one ligament which is attaching coracoid process with the clavicle, the lateral end of the clavicle. So that ligament, if I show here, it will be known as the conoid and trapezoid part of coracoclavicular ligament. conoid and trapezoid part of coracoclavicular ligament. So that ligament which I have drawn, which I have shown here as two lines, the conoid and trapezoid part of coracoclavicular ligament. So this is coracoclavicular ligament connecting coracoid process with the lateral part of the clavicle. On the lateral part of the clavicle, there will be presence of conoid tubercle and trapezoid ridge on which the fibers of coracoclavicular ligament will be attached. So therefore, our clavipectoral fascia which we have drawn will be attached laterally to the coracoid process and coracoclavicular ligament. Then medially, this clavipectoral fascia will be attached to anterior intercostal membrane. During thorax we will understand this, anterior intercostal membrane of upper two intercostal spaces. So medially the clavipectoral fascia is attached to anterior intercostal membrane which is present in the upper two intercostal spaces. So very clear, laterally it is attached to coracoid process over here and coracoclavicular ligament. Medially it will be attached to anterior intercostal membrane of upper two intercostal spaces, only upper two intercostal spaces. Then superiorly it will enclose subclavius muscle. Completely it will enclose, and then it will be attached to the inferior surface of clavicle on the margins of subclavian groove. On the margins of subclavian groove. So superiorly after enclosing, it will be attached on inferior surface of clavicle. What about inferior? Inferior, there is pectoralis minor muscle. So it will enclose pectoralis minor muscle inferiorly and then it will extend down. This fascia will extend down. After enclosing pectoralis minor, this clavipectoral fascia will extend down. As it extends down, lower down, this portion below the pectoralis minor, it will be known as the suspensory ligament of the axilla. So lower down after enclosing pectoralis minor, it will continue as suspensory ligament of axilla, and lower down it will be attached to axillary fascia which will be present in the axilla. So lower down it will be attached to the axillary fascia. Now the same thing we need to represent in sagittal section. This much we are going to draw over here. For example, if I show the sagittal section of clavicle, very simple. Then I show over here the attachment, the sagittal section of pectoralis major muscle. Remember, this is pectoralis major. This pectoralis major will be covered by, here I am showing, it will be covered by pectoral fascia, deep, which is a part of deep fascia. Deep to pectoralis major, now I am going to show this muscle which will be known as subclavius. Below that I am going to show over here the muscle which will be known as pectoralis minor muscle. This is a beautiful diagram. And I am going to show clavipectoral fascia. See here, above the clavipectoral fascia which will enclose subclavius muscle, and it will be attached to inferior surface of the clavicle. After enclosing subclavius muscle, the clavipectoral fascia superiorly, after enclosing subclavius muscle, it is attached to inferior surface of clavicle. Below, the clavipectoral fascia will enclose pectoralis minor muscle. This is pectoralis minor, it is enclosing. And then after enclosing, it will continue as suspensory ligament of axilla, till where it will be attached to this dome of axillary fascia. So this is superior and this is the inferior attachment of clavipectoral fascia, and this is a sagittal section of pectoral region. Very important diagram, sagittal section of pectoral region. Once again I repeat, superiorly it will split and enclose subclavius muscle and it will be attached to the inferior surface of clavicle. Inferiorly, it will split and enclose pectoralis minor muscle and it will continue as suspensory ligament of axilla, which will be attached to this dome of axillary fascia. Coming back to this diagram, this entire clavipectoral fascia, superior, inferior, we are clear. Laterally, medially also we are clear. Laterally it is attached to coracoid process and coracoclavicular ligament, and medially it will be attached to anterior intercostal membrane of upper two spaces. Now the last point, very important point, this is asked in MCQs. What are the structures which are piercing clavipectoral fascia? Structures which will pierce clavipectoral fascia, where my hand is there. Remember, one structure which already we have drawn. This is lateral pectoral nerve. Now another structure, if I draw over here, and that will be cephalic vein. The cephalic vein will pierce the clavipectoral fascia. Then there will be the artery which will pierce. Which artery? Thoracoacromial artery. So here we are going to draw thoracoacromial artery. Vein, artery, nerve. Cephalic vein, thoracoacromial artery, lateral pectoral nerve, and one more structure, the lymphatics. There will be presence of various lymphatics. Which are those lymphatics? Infraclavicular group of lymph nodes and lymphatics from the breast will pierce clavipectoral fascia and will open in apical group of axillary lymph nodes. Once again I repeat, the lymphatics which are passing from infraclavicular group of lymph nodes and the lymphatics from the breast, they will pierce the clavipectoral fascia and they will open in the apical group of axillary lymph nodes. So four structures are piercing the clavipectoral fascia. Once again I'll repeat, cephalic vein, thoracoacromial artery, lateral pectoral nerve, and the lymphatics from infraclavicular group as well as from the breast, which are piercing clavipectoral fascia and will open in the apical. After piercing this, they will open in the apical group of axillary lymph nodes. And the last point, the entire clavipectoral fascia, which is stretching from coracoid process to the costal cartilages here, the upper two costal cartilages, it will be known as costocoracoid ligament. Remember, the portion of clavipectoral fascia, which will extend from coracoid process to the costal cartilages, this much portion will be known as costocoracoid ligament. Costocoracoid ligament. That much only we need to understand. Sometimes it is asked as 1 mark question answer. What is costocoracoid ligament? It is a part of clavipectoral fascia which is extending between coracoid process and the upper costal cartilage, costocoracoid ligament. So with this we finish our pectoralis minor, subclavius muscle and clavipectoral fascia. All the three topics are very important. Thank you very much.